to continue our discussion on crime in Wilmington and the idea of combining the two police force, the Newcastle County Police and the Wilmington Police Force, is the man himself, Colonel Elmer Setting from the Newcastle County Police Department. You like the idea?
You know, I think it's with merit. I think that there's some value in talking about it. I'm not a big fan of defending the old models that don't necessarily work, but I think there's some really big questions and logistics that would have to be addressed before it could actually come to fruition.
Who would be in charge?
I have no idea. That one's way above my pay grade.
No, you would want to be in charge, right? I mean, if they were to combine, you'd want to be in charge. But I'm sure that Chief Cummings would also want to be in charge.
Who would blame you? I mean, yeah, sure. No, my time in policing probably at 27 years. I probably won't be around to run that particular venture, I don't think.
Why do you say that? This isn't something that's going to happen immediately?
I don't think so. I really don't. Not only do I think I think the commission is coming forward with a lot of the answers that Wilmington needs as far as direction, and I think Chief Cummings has been successful in repairing some of the gaps that he inherited. You know, when you have an agency that hasn't kept up with technology, and you're a new chief that wants to engage in technology, the infrastructure has to be there. And he didn't have that infrastructure. When I took over as chief in the county, everything was there for me to, if I wanted to begin a new program, all the computers were in the cars. We had all the technology, we had the software, so it was kind of easy to take a new direction. For Bob, for Chief Cummings, who's now putting that infrastructure into place, I think you're starting to see Wilmington turn a corner as far as crime reduction.
I think when they talk about this, combining, they look at Camden, New Jersey. Camden, New Jersey used to be, well, the new statistics aren't that great either, but it used to be the most dangerous city in America, with the distinction that Wilmington now has, according to FBI statistics. And so they got rid of the Camden Police Department, the city, yes, and the Camden County people took over.
Yes.
Is that what would have to happen here for it to happen quickly?
You know, I don't know exactly what model they would follow. The only thing I will say in defense of the Camden model is it did force one agency to have responsibility, and that does, you know, make a game changer. Right now, Wilmington Police Department is responsible for the city of Wilmington. But again, what I think is it may not be necessary for any agencies to be combined if they can come out of this commission with a direction that is solid, and again, now given time for Chief Cummings to get, again, the infrastructure in his agency, get up to his authorized strength, and get the equipment that he needs, I think they have a very good chance of turning.
You're acting like this is a nuclear option. Like you're saying, try all these things first, yeah, because this is drastic. Is that fair? It's
very drastic, and when people come in here and say, well, we're just going to combine the agencies, they're not thinking of this globally. I mean, I hate to be the one to bring up the bad news, but someone somewhere is going to have to go home. There are a lot of people that are not going to have a paycheck or a title or a position or authority when this is said and done. You can't just say, okay, Wilmington, put on a county uniform, or county, we want you to all put on Wilmington's uniform. And which council will have authority over public safety? Is the city council going to combine with county council, or will one council have authority over the police department? And then if one council has authority, what does the other council do? Why would we have two councils?
Well, if you did the Camden model, and the county were to take over the police department, then they would have say over it.
I mean, that makes the most sense to me. I hear what you're saying.
And is that the only way it would work?
I don't know.
You don't think it's going to work at all?
Yeah, I mean, I think someone with the authority to do this would have to map out how it's being done, who would take over. I mean, what agency is going to go back and say, we have to change our model? You know, right now we're a community police department. We've been a community police department since I was hired on in 1989, and we have very much mastered that model. We are well respected and well received in Newcastle County. Our crime rate is down by 36% this year alone compared to last year, and that was down from the year before that, following a community-oriented model using our TAPS program that we've discussed in the past. Simply put a cop where we believe the crime is going to occur based on the data.
Wouldn't that work in Wilmington?
And they're doing that. And as I said, for Chief Cummings, the first thing he had to do is go out and get the computers to tell you big data. And he didn't have that at his fingertips. Again, I inherited a police department that kept up with technology.
Let's wrap up the conversation with this. Do you think it's going to happen?
I do. Sometime down the road, as resources continue to dry up, and we have to have a better model, I think somebody somewhere is going to say too much overspending, too much repetition in duplicitous service.
But it's down the line. You don't see this happening.
I do think it's down the line.
Colonel, it's always a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I know you started your cold case, and you say you're close to a couple cases?
We are very close, and I promise the first place I'm coming is right here.
I appreciate that.
Thank you.
You so much. The Delaware Way continues in just a moment, and we thank Colonel Elmer Setting from the Newcastle County Police Department.